This is the Reds Postcast, your instant game reaction for the Cincinnati Reds. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
No good, very bad. No good, very bad day. Good evening, Reds fans, and welcome to another edition of the Postcast brought to you by Locked On Reds and the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. I'm Tim Daniel, and on tonight's show, flat out, Tyler Stephenson has a birthday home run, Nick Lodolo is really good, and everything else was not really good, including an embarrassing outing by the rest of the bullpen, including Ron Marinaccio, and Tejay Antone concerns, even though they're not 100% his fault. Well, let's go ahead and let's get right into it and say when this game turned on its head.
Time to reveal where the game was won or lost. It's the turning point.
Okay, I don't do this often, and I kind of get criticized for this at times, and I think this is rational for me to get criticized for it, but I'm going to be critical of Elly De La Cruz here. And I'm someone who I've come on here and I've told you guys that, like, look, if you go and look at the metrics, he has been far better defensively than we looked at, that we've seen in the past. And most of the time, I'm correct. And if you go on his Baseball Savant page, it shows you how good of a defender he's been. It's these awful, just non-focused plays that are the thing that's so frustrating about him, because it's not the sense that he's not talented enough, right? We certainly know that he's a star. He's one of the best players in the world. There's a reason that the Reds should offer him the biggest contract in franchise history. But it's these little things, right? It's just these little non-focused plays that he makes that just really make it difficult. And today, that error he has was just, it leads to the Marlins getting on the board, makes Tejay Antone have to leave earlier. It's difficult. It's really frustrating. And again, I love Elly. I think he is incredibly talented, and I love that he's on our team. I love that him and Sal Stewart are hitting 1 and 2 in the order, but that was really bad. And he's had a couple of those of late. I don't think he's going to win the Gold Glove at shortstop this year, like I predicted in April. But he's certainly been significantly better, and no one expects him to be perfect. But he does need to lock in a little more. Like it says here, routine plays. Routine plays kind of hurt things for him sometimes, and he'll make the amazing, right? He'll have some amazing catch where he runs it down. It's like in the corner of left field, and he catches it over his shoulder, and then he'll have throws like that where you're like, what are you doing? And then he'll have throws like he had on Friday where he gets the force out at home to Tyler Stephenson, and he throws like 100 miles an hour to the plate. I just want to see him just be consistent, because hitting wise, he's certainly gotten more consistent. Yes, he strikes out. I don't care about strikeouts. Okay, strikeouts are going to happen. It's part of baseball. Ken Griffey Jr. struck out. Joey Votto even struck out on occasion. Barry Larkin struck out. Mike Trout strikes out. It happens, but this is where it's kind of got to get going. I think he'll be fine. I'm not worried about it. I'm not going to go in here and start the conversation. I changed my mind. He should play in the outfield. I don't feel that way whatsoever. Like I said, the ground he covers and the range he has at shortstop is amongst the best in baseball, and I'm fine keeping him there. We just got to have him focus and get in the groove. And I think, we're not too far away from him being one of the more elite. Johnny. You know the rules. Johnny. I got my eyes on you, Johnny. I don't like it, but I like you, and you're a good friend, so I like you coming out and hearing every day. With that being said, I do want to talk about Tejay Antone for a second, because, look, obviously the error hurts him a little more. It's not his fault. I'm not going to blame him for that, but this is 2 nights in a row where he's gotten opportunities in a close game and hasn't been successful. And pitchers run into this. It happens. I'm not necessarily at the point where I'm overly concerned, because I think we all suspect he was at some point where he wasn't pitching very well with his story and everything. And, he had just been on for so long. Guys just aren't guys aren't on as long as he normally is out of a bullpen. And he has been. So it's maybe it's a 2-day slide. It could very well just be that. But I certainly am a little worried just because of the taxing innings he's had to throw. And look, I know I'm the guy that comes in and says, throw him at the back of the bullpen, see if he can go get some outs for you. I get it. I know I'm counteracting myself here. If I could use words, I'd probably be pretty good at podcasting. But here it's just one of these things where I don't know if it's just kind of like he's just getting a little tired. Maybe he just had 2 bad days. I hope it's the case. Obviously, he's so easy to root for, and he's been really good. And I want to see him get back to being really good. And I do think he can, obviously. But one guy who cannot get back to being really good is our old pal and yours, Ron Marinaccio.
Uh-oh, somebody messed up, and it's time to let them know with who fudged up.
Ron Marinaccio stinks. And look, I get it. I'm a 37-year-old man sitting in my basement podcasting. I don't have much room to talk. But Ron Marinaccio should not be in the major leagues. Should not. And the fact that the Reds are having to go out there in a 1-run game at the time, mind you, it was 2-1 when he goes in there, and he just blows it up. And I talked about this last night, right, with Sam Maul. And by the way, those of you who hung out last night, thank you for being patient with all my nerdy Harry Potter puns. It was a lot of fun when I went back and listened to it this morning at the gym. But they now have these I'm actually fine with where the bullpen's at minus Mull and Marinaccio. I think Brock Burke's solid. I know I just talked about Tejay Antone. I'm not super concerned with him. Emilio Pagano's been far better than I thought he'd be this year. And they got rid of Caleb Ferguson because he just didn't seem like a good dude, right? That whole berating of the umpire thing, just kind of made me lose respect for him a little bit, to be brutally honest with you. So I'm not too disappointed in where the bullpen's at. I just feel like these 2 guys particularly have made things really, really hard on the Reds in the sense that, like we've all talked about. If you think the Reds are going to make a run at the wild card, they're really not. They're really not. But if you think that, and Santion's hurt, Graham Ashcraft's hurt, Johnny, this time I'll redeem you with your point there, Johnny, in the chat. And I get that point too. But these 2 guys, I don't know between those 2, why they're still getting opportunities. Julian Garcia was really good today, right? Really, really good after he had a bad outing recently. And then, yeah, it's I get being down, but this team is literally in a situation where they're going to have to play so many, they play 8 games this week in 7 days because they have a doubleheader tomorrow. And Tejay Antone just threw 25 pitches. Ron Marinaccio still has a job. Sam Mull still has a job. Brock Burke didn't pitch in 2 days. Julian Garcia threw, I have to look, I don't think he threw a ton of pitches. So I imagine he'll be available for at least one of those games tomorrow. But it's when the bullpen gets really good, they just have to have some way that they just always mess it up for us all, right? And that's the part that's difficult. But hey, we had a lot of negative here. So we're going to take the second half of the show. We're going to talk a positive because I thought today was one of Nick Lodolo's finer outings in a long time. So we're going to talk about that and Tyler Stephenson's birthday homer after the break. But first, we got to send a big thank you to our friends at Amazon for this limited break. This back-to-school season, spend less on your kids with Amazon. We all know how crazy back-to-school shopping experience can be. It starts with the few items on the list that suddenly you're shopping for supplies, clothes, lunch gear, tech, and about 10 other things you didn't see coming. It adds up quick. When you look at the school supply list and wonder if you're shopping for one child or opening a small office supply store. I didn't realize first grade required this much inventory. Shopping like this can get out of control if you're not careful. When your kid spends days planning the perfect first day of school outfit because they want to make a first great impression, you end up putting almost as much thought into it as they do. At least the first day photos are worth it. With Amazon's low back to school prices, just spend less on your kids because every dollar you don't spend on them is a dollar you haven't spent on them. Shop back to school at Amazon and spend less time on your kids. Thank you for making Locked On Reds your first listen each and every day, whether it's me with this team on the postcast each and every day, or Jeff and Steve Monday through Friday on Locked On Reds. We definitely appreciate it. And if you are an everydayer, please be sure to step up your everydayer claim. Join the Locked On Reds. Words are hard, guys. Words are hard today. The Locked On Reds Everydayer Club for $5 a month or $50 a year. Go to lockedonreds.postsupercast.com. Get access to ad-free episodes of all your favorite Locked On shows and also our Discord chat as well. We want to be in there because we want to talk ball with each and every one of you, and it's a lot of fun. And let's talk a little bit about Nick Lodolo.
This is the Locked On Player of the Game.
So, Nick Lodolo today has one of his more promising outings in a long time. If he has figured out this new grip, the grip looked pretty promising today. 5 shutout innings with 2 strikeouts, does have 2 walks and gives up 3 hits. I thought that was really, really promising. And, obviously the news we got this week about Hunter Green and the news we got this week about, Sam Moll and Ron Marinaccio, I just feel like I got to keep bringing up how frustrating they are. That's the part where I'm kind of really annoyed. But for Lodolo, I feel like he really gave the Reds something they really needed to see from him. I think we're all pretty concerned, right? I mean, there was a possibility he was going to be traded at the deadline if he was healthy with the way the Reds were kind of looking ahead. And he went out and he gave 5 really good innings. And look, I know you want to talk about the Marlins and these games were competitive with the Reds. That's a pretty good team over there. I don't want to be, discredit the Marlins one bit. It's a team that's significantly better than they were in years past. And I know they're 3rd place in the East and they're 2.5 out of a wild card spot, but they play good ball and their roster is getting better and better. They kept Sandy Alcantara and he's been really good for them. So I take nothing away from the Marlins. Like Yuri Perez is really good. But this is the part where, if you're the Reds, and you get these really nice outings. Yeah, I'm going back to it. Nick Lodolo and Julian Garcia gave the Reds every chance possible to win this game today. Tejay Antone had some bad defense behind him. They had 3 errors as a team today, by the way. I haven't even gotten to that. So that part's really disappointing. But that's the part where I feel like in this sense, on your field where you get more opportunities to hit at the end of the game than they do. The game doesn't end until you bat. You needed to take advantage of that. And I know the Reds offense is not very good most of the time. I mean, they live and die by home runs. Their one run today was a homer, but we got to see better outings than this. I mean, they had 5 walks as a team. They had 4 hits. Jose Trevino had 2 of those hits. Matt McClain, after having a really nice day yesterday, gets moved up in the order. And when 0 for 4 with 3 strikeouts after I sang his praises. They also forced Yuri Perez to have 2 walks today with a time error, pitching clock error. Words. They also went 0 for 2 with runners in scoring position. They had only 2 chances for the runners in scoring position today. They left 5 guys on base. Yep. Elly got caught stealing. Jose Trevino got caught stealing. Elly had 2 errors. They also turned a really nice double play. It's August. Thing keeping me going over is all you people. I love hanging out with you guys and I love talking ball with you all. All right, let's talk about Tyler Stephenson because that's another high note tonight. So Tyler Stephenson's birthday was today. Tyler Stephenson's still on the team. Tyler Stephenson better be on the team in 27 if they are going to keep doing things like this where we're going to have outings where they're really frustrating. I better see Tyler Stephenson on the field next year on the Cincinnati Reds roster because I didn't trade him and that better mean that he's here and they don't lose him for nothing. This is the part where I'm really happy for him. I mean, we talked about it quite a bit, how well he swung the bat of late has been great. And he's so talented and he's got like a lot going for him. The ABS thing has been incredible to see him just kind of figure that out. I know I'm a broken record right now with just how much I've really appreciated what he's turned his season into. And that was his 7th pinch hit home run. It's the 7th most by a Red in franchise history for a pinch hitter. Pretty cool that he's on that board. So I don't know who's ahead of him. I'm sure we can find it if we had time to look it up, but really nice day for Tyler Stephenson to getting that homer on his birthday. So that was nice to see, but without it, other than that, wasn't a fun day. The Reds do lose today to the Marlins 7-1. The Marlins have 7 runs on 8 hits, no errors. The Reds have 1 run on 4 hits, no errors. Sam Eknes gets his first win of the year. He is now 1-1 with a 1.64 ERA. Tejay Antone takes his 2nd loss in as many days. He's 2-2 with a 3.6 earned run average. The Reds are back at it tomorrow with a doubleheader against the St. Louis Cardinals due to the whole rain delay makeup game thing. So first pitch will be at 1:40 and Rhett Lauder's taking the hill. And the Cardinals have not yet announced their pitching plan for tomorrow. Programming note for tomorrow. I know normally when a doubleheader, I try to do both games. Unfortunately, it's not possible tomorrow. I wish it was. I apologize. So what I'm going to do, if you guys want, as long as the first one's not terrible. Do a long 20-minute postcast, 10 minutes before the break on game 1, 10 minutes after the break on game 2. I'm happy to do that if that's what you guys want. Or if game 1 is just terrible and we don't want to talk about it, and we just got to do game 2, we'll do that too. But we'll make it work. But everyone, thank you so much again for hanging out. And please be sure to continue to make Locked On Reds your wonderful one stop for all things Reds baseball. Whether you are listening to us on your podcast app of choice, you're here on YouTube, make sure to hit that bell, hit that like button because it helps us out a lot as well. I'm Tim Daniel. Thank you all again for hanging out with me today. Go Red Legs. I'll see you tomorrow.